and welcome to another episode of Goodnight Gamescast, a podcast where we talk about all things gaming. I am your host, Moi Rodriguez, aka Mr. 40 Ounce, and aka Moi Division. And to my right, your left, if you're watching this, my co-host, the one, the only, Dr. Stylish, the one with the EXE at WaveEXE, aka Jesus Morales. How are you, Jesus?
Hey, that's me. Hi.
That is you. How are you, dude? How's life treating you?
Good. Work was kind of nuts today,
Mm-hmm.
but TSM is still in playoffs, baby. Let's go. We can do this, boys.
Ooh, nice. All right. And TSM is a team, correct?
Yes, Team Solo Mid.
Wow. And they're playing leagues, I'm assuming.
Yeah, this is a League of Legends playoffs summer split. They win one more game and then make it to Worlds. So.
Ooh.
And then we're gonna choke in Worlds.
You see, I know very little about leagues, but I know Worlds is where you want to be if you play league.
Yeah. But NA has never made it out of groups.
Oof. Hey, you know what?
So.
Well, there's always an underdog that comes up once in a while. You never know. You never know.
Korea too good, man.
Korea is very good. Korea is just very good in most esports, if not all of them. But yeah, so that's dope. So hopefully, we'll keep that. See how they go. Well, if you're joining us, thank you for joining. If you're watching us, thank you for watching. You can watch us on YouTube. You don't have a URL yet, but you can look up Goodnight Gamescast or Goodnight Last Call on YouTube, and you should be able to find us. And if you do find us, give us a sub, give us a follow. We really appreciate it. If you're listening to this for the first time, again, we are a gaming podcast. We talk about all things gaming. We do reviews. We do a little bit of a chit chat on current events, and sometimes just our different games. What we like, what we don't like, and our hot takes. And now, if you're not into gaming and you want to watch our other content, Last Call, where we talk about anything, everything, and sometimes nothing at all. That goes up Thursdays. Some Thursdays. Sometimes at 10 a.m.
Sometimes.
It's hard times. I know you know what I mean by hard times. And that's depression and anxiety. I'm just kidding. It's just a lot of things, right? A lot of things. But make sure to check us out. We're on Spotify, Google Podcast, iTunes, and most streaming platforms anywhere around the world. Now, if you want to follow us on our social media, we do have at Goodnight Cast, where we sometimes tweet. And if you can follow us on Instagram, where we sometimes post. Not a lot of shit posting, but posting, And if you want to follow our personal accounts, you can follow me at Moi Division on both Twitter, Instagram, and twitch.tv/Moi Division. And the name is right here on the screen, right below, right here. You see it. And you can follow Jesus at WaveEXE on Instagram and Twitter. But if you want to get a hold of him, most likely Twitter, since he is a Twitter head.
Follow me on Instagram.
Not much of an IG baddie. He doesn't like posting fit tees.
My shit's locked up, dude.
Yeah, for sure. And yeah, I think that does it for our quick housekeeping. We don't want to keep you too entertained with our housekeeping because we do have something very important to talk about today, and today is review day. All right, review time. Today's review is on Sucker Punch's latest title, PlayStation 4 last exclusive of the generation, The Ghost of Tsushima. Jesus, Ghost of Tsushima. You finally rolled credits, is that correct?
Finally. Took me a while. I was very busy, and mainly just that. I just kind of put it off for a while. I finished building a PC, so that kind of took away a lot of the time I had.
Right.
But I got to a story beat that I just had to keep going. So yeah, finally finished it.
Cool.
That's pretty much it. I'll go into
we'll go
later.
into the review when we get into the nitties of it, the nitty gritties of it. All right, so with 2.4 million copies sold in the first 3 days, so opening weekend, we got your opening weekends for movies, we have your opening weekends for video games. 2.4 million copies around the world, huge. A lot in Japan. I don't have the exact figure right now, but it was huge in Japan for obvious reasons.
Yeah.
It is a game based in the island of Tsushima in Japan in the year 1274. Now, year 1274, the island of Tsushima was invaded by the Mongol Empire. At the moment, the Mongol Empire was huge. So they were just biggest empire there's ever been. Biggest one in the history of the world. So, naturally, this show, a lot of people thought this game was going to be super, like, historically correct. A lot of the aspects are historically correct. Obviously, a lot of fantasy, a lot of fiction in here to make this game, a video game. But definitely, Sucker Punch knocked it out of the punch. I guess, going into, like, into you had to do it. I had to into the history aspects of it, and parts of the war, how it went down and stuff like that, right? There's not a lot of like information out there right now, so I guess they took that into consideration and played with what they could do with the story, and allowing it for it not to be super restrained, right? Like, oh, this goes way out of like the story, whatever. They're going too nuts. It's like, no, they have that room to work with. So it was very, very good. Now, Jesus, like most games, reviews are compiled of the good and the bad, right? We have our pros and our cons in each video game. We did talk about this a little bit on one of our previous episodes about 4 weeks ago, almost 3-4 weeks. And, we did go a little bit into our first impressions of how we felt about it. We did go a little bit, but right now we want to go into a deeper spoiler region, right? So if you're watching this is going to have spoilers. So now is your cue to log out or watch another one of our episodes or another one of our last call episodes. But here we go. Now, Jesus, let me ask you, what did you not like about the game? Because I know
we're starting there.
Because I know we're gonna have a lot of good stuff to say. Or you want to do it the other way? How do you feel? Do you want to talk about more of what you liked? Yeah, you know what? Let's go right. Let's do the bad.
I mean, yeah, it doesn't really matter. Like, we can start wherever you like.
Okay, you know what? Let's go with the good.
Let's go with the good.
Let's go with the good, and then we'll end with the bad, because the bad's probably gonna be towards the end.
We'll sprinkle it in here and there,
Yeah.
I feel like once we reach that point, that topic of like certain things that we didn't like, we just kind of like sprinkle them in. But I'll start off with just pretty much what I liked, which is everything.
There we go.
Everything.
End of episode.
Game is just incredible. I was very surprised, man. I was very, very, very surprised about this game. Okay. I knew I was gonna like it, like from the get-go. As it got closer to the release date of the game, I grew more and more excited about it. Okay. Where at first, I was like, cool game, Batman Arkham Knight vibes, like, just a fun time. That's what I expected from this game.
Right.
I didn't expect to, like, halfway through the game, take a depression nap from how much this game destroyed me.
Dude, absolutely,
Yeah, like, it was just bad. But man, like, it's a weird thing about this game. I don't think there was, like, particularly anything crazy that this game did, like, on a technical standpoint. Mm-hmm. That, like, revolutionized, like, the genre.
Yeah.
It's one of those where if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Correct.
But it did, like, clean up some things that a lot of people didn't like about this kind of games. Mm-hmm. Like, being the biggest comparison is, like, the UB towers, like,
right.
You have this whole open map, and it's just, here's an objective here, there's an objective here, like, go follow this guy, go do this, clean up this, like, a bunch of collectibles, just little question marks all over the map, which, right. It's a bit daunting, and, if you've been playing Ubisoft games for a while, it's a little tiresome after a while.
Right.
But I think this game actually, like, it still feels like that shore heavy, like, map clearing, but they did it in like such a way to, like, make it a little bit easier on the player to, first of all, collect all the question marks all over the map, and make it feel engaging, I guess.
Yes.
So that was just like one of the things that I think they did better, but I don't think it's like, I guess, like, I don't think like other games are gonna follow suit. You know, like they're not gonna like, oh, like this is the standard for open world games now. You know, like Watch Dogs Legion comes out in about 2 months. You know, like I'm pretty sure they're gonna do the same thing as they've always done. You know.
Yeah, for sure.
So I think that's like a really good on them for still following that formula, but doing kind of their own thing from it.
Yeah, definitely. Like I agree completely with you. It like we have played these sorts of game before, like you know, like you mentioned, but it does feel a bit different. Like it for once, we're in feudal Japan, right? So the setting itself, you know, it's like a lot of because it reminds me of a lot of the Assassin's Creed games, right? But this, like, you know, just being in feudal Japan, at least for me, I love like games that take setting in Japan, you know, samurais, like for example like Neo and stuff like that. Like I love that kind of setting, Sekiro and stuff like that. So for this I was like, okay, cool, like I want to explore like shrines. I want to like see like the cherry blossom, see the different colored forests, see the like the homes, the houses, you know, the open fields, the flowers, you know, all those like pretty things around the island. I never felt like, okay, I'm gonna put a place like a map marker right there and then just go there. No, like half the time I find my way and just like losing my way. I was like, I'm supposed to go there, and I was just running off into distance somewhere else. Something caught my eye. A fox caught my eye. A golden bird caught my eye. Smoke in the distance caught my eye. It's like, okay, cool. Like I didn't I didn't need the map so much, except for the main story stuff. Everything else, I was having a delightful time just getting lost and exploring the world. You know, when like I remember playing Assassin's Creed Unity and like some of the other ones. I haven't played the newer ones like Odyssey and stuff like that. Black Flag and stuff where I found myself looking at the map constantly. And this one I was like, I don't want to look at it. Like I'm just having a good time enjoying and exploring, like really exploring. It's making everything so rewarding. You know, little bits of like side story, side missions, and then little bits that, you know, that like the bamboo chop, the fox and stuff like that. It's like, okay, cool. Like all this is great, and it feels rewarding. It doesn't feel like busy work because all of this is contributing to your aesthetics. Which, let's face it, like you gotta look cool, dude.
Yeah,
you gotta look like a badass warrior.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like taking out like I found myself changing outfits left and right, like all the time. I was like, what am I gonna look like this time? Or it's nighttime, all right, all black. It's like I'm gonna go duel these dudes. All right, I'm gonna put like the Ronin outfit for a duel or something. Oh, here, yeah, with a big straw hat, I'm in. You know, it's like I found myself playing the character, playing the part. You know, like not just like I'm gonna go with the most busted armor, or no. I was like, I'm trying to live. I'm trying to become Jin. You know, I'm trying to become this conflicted samurai. I'm trying to pick up the part and play as much of like a movie would play like in my head instead of a video game, and I love that. So yeah, like the exploration in this video game was just outstanding, and it really made my time fly in this game. I put a lot of time into this game, almost platinumed it, and honestly, I don't feel like I've played enough as I have other games that I have spent way less time on playing.
I guess here's my first con because it's topical.
Okay.
There's no time tracker. Like it's such a little thing, but like.
Yeah. Oh yeah, there is no time tracker.
Like I don't know how long I've been playing this, and like it's not even like a thing that like a game should have, but it's like, why not?
Yeah, I mean for them, I guess it's kind of like, well, what do you care? You're having fun? It's like, yeah, having fun, but I just want to see it.
Of course, yeah. Like it's not even a thing, but it's just like a kind of like a personal thing that I just want to know, like how much, like not to like flex or anything, but just like I want to know like how long did it take me to finish this? Like how long is this game? If I tell anyone, how would I tell them?
Wait, you know what? I think it does. I think when you save manually.
No.
On your save files, it doesn't say how much time, or it just records like the time, like
it just tells you where you're at.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because usually most games, whenever you like save manually and it brings up like the the PlayStation menu.
Yeah.
Like save menu.
Yeah.
Yeah. There usually is like timestamps. Not on this one.
Oh, really? Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
it was
Okay,
like
okay.
yeah, because like I was trying to find it for like the longest time, and I was like, okay, like if I save manually, like it'll have it. I know. So.
Okay, okay.
Yeah,
Oh,
it was kind of
damn,
weird. You know, it's not even like I wouldn't docket points for like for review purposes for this.
Yeah.
But it's just like a little thing that I didn't like.
Okay.
I was like, I kind of want to know like how long it took me to get here, or like, you know, how long was Act 1. Like I kind of was just like measuring it like in my own head, but you know, especially right now, like time doesn't exist right now. Like,
Yeah, right. Yeah, dude.
So,
I play this game like for like very long sessions. Like, and I'm saying long, like 8 to 12 hour sessions sometimes. And I was just kind of like, oh my god, like this is going forever. But I wouldn't get tired of it. I would get tired physically, where I was like, okay, I need to sleep now. Like I need to go to sleep, and like I'll play this like when I wake up or whatever. I need to do my IRL life things, you know. But this game just kept me so engaged all throughout. Which brings me to one of the big things to talk about, right? Which is the story. Mm-hmm. Story with the side story, right? Side quests and stuff like that. Khotun Khan gets there in the beaches of Tsushima, and is faced with 80-something samurai right at the coast, and the game starts. You charge in there. Gets destroyed. You have Adachi, or the Lord Adachi from the Adachi clan, and he just gets like murdered right in cold blood by Khotun Khan. It just burns him up, throws wine, lights him on fire, cuts his head off, and it's just like, that's very dishonorable. So we are going to battle. Everyone dies. Everyone dies. All the samurais are dead except for two samurais, Jin Sakai, and your uncle, the head of the samurai, the
Jito.
Yeah, the Jito, not the Shogun, the Jito, Lord Shimura. And so the game begins, right? So now we have the island of Tsushima completely invaded by Mongols, and you pretty much trying to eliminate the Mongols, right? But the Mongols do have a certain fighting tactic, which is mostly focused on brute power and fear tactics, right? The samurais, on the other hand, very honorable, very respectful in an honorable way to their fighting style, right? So, you know, obviously, like the samurai way of fighting compared to the Mongols, there was no way of beating them, right? Because it's like, well, I'm gonna play by the rules. You know what? I'm just gonna try to kill you. Like, I don't care how. I'm just gonna kill you. Yeah. And so that's where Jin meets. I forgot the girl's name. Completely forgot to name it here. The girl that saves you.
Oh, Yuna.
Yuna. So Yuna, one of the characters that saves you, she is a thief. She saves you and heals back to health and tries to get you back on your feet, right? So at this point, you're Khotun Khan, which is Kublai's cousin and Genghis Khan's nephew? Grandson has captured your uncle, right? And he told you know what, like, Lord Shimura, I've studied you, I know your language, like give up, like, just don't resist to us, everything will be fine. But his uncle's like, oh, you know what, like, no. Lord Shimura's like, no, I am not going to subdue myself to the Mongol invasion, right? So that's where the game starts, right? You have to save your uncle from the Mongols. But obviously Jin, being a samurai, just can't do it as a samurai. So Yuna's like, hey, well, you know what? Maybe we should try like different tactics. Jin's like, no, I am not a dishonorable person. I'm not a thief. I'm not a thug. I fight with honor. Yuna's like, hey, you know what?
Hey, that shit's whack.
Dude, you want to beat these guys? You gotta fight differently, dude. You can't just go head to head on these guys. Like, they'll kill you. You need to find a new way. So she teaches you how to backstab and move through the shadows. Move like water, dude. Move like they do, dude. And and so here's where it becomes like super conflicted for Jin, right? Because it's like, holy shit, like, dishonorable, honorable. What am I doing here? But in the end, like, do you want to save your uncle? You gotta you gotta do like some pretty sketchy shit. You gotta kill these guys while they're sleeping. So that's where the story begins, right? And here's where the story started grabbing me, Jesus, initially from the very beginning, because of the empathy. I felt empathy for Jin, right? Jin is this like stand-up guy trying to do what is, culturally and traditionally right for the samurai, right, for his people and his family, his clan. And it just resembles so much in like me and like younger generations compared to like our parents, our grandparents, right? And just like the things that like sometimes like we in our lives find culturally and traditionally like wrong or outdated, and you're like, hey, like I wish they would understand that things are different now, or you need to move in a different way, in a different direction, right? Yeah. And like seeing Jin go through this, right? It's like, hey, well, like I gotta do this, but I can't completely respect what you want me to respect because it's not the wave right now. It's not the move, So with that, I was like, hey, like I get it. This guy has to do what he needs to do in order to succeed. So with that, I was very like, all right, cool. Like they got me with the real life like thing, yeah. Right? So and then the story just takes off, right? The story is written really well, in my opinion. I think the story it was flawless. The story was just smooth for me. You rescue your uncle, which is the end of Act 1. Yeah, but 1. Yeah, but when in between, before Act 1 ends, you do find other lords and teachers to help you save your uncle, right? So you find, we have here, I don't have the names. I thought I had them. I don't have them. Well, you find
I have them.
You have them? Hell yeah. All right, cool.
Yeah, it's gonna be the Master Archer, which is Ishikawa Sensei. Mm-hmm. Then Yuna is one of them. The thief. And then there's Lady Masako, which is a lady of Dachi clan.
Yeah, so her husband was murdered in the beach.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then those are essentially like the first 3 that you meet, but then later on you actually meet Norio, which is the warrior monk. Mm-hmm. And then you meet Kenji, the scammer? I don't know.
He's a merchant.
Like he's a sake merchant, right?
Sake merchant, yeah.
Yeah, but he's just a slimy fucking
son
of a bitch.
Yeah, exactly. yeah, exactly. Not the coolest, like a very shady dude, but it's like, hey, you know what? You gotta use whatever you have to your advantage, or whoever you have on your side.
Yeah, so I actually got a lot to say about Kenji. I'll go into it in a little bit.
Okay, all right, cool.
And then there's I guess you could consider him, but like he doesn't have like a main storyline. Mm-hmm. But it's Taka, which is Yuna's brother. Right.
So yeah, Taka plays a big part.
It's a huge part. Like he doesn't get his own quests, but it's a cornerstone of a big moment in this game.
Yeah, 100%. Like yeah. So at this point, like Jin's out there, trying to kill Mongols from camps and on down the road. Any Mongols, he's just taking it down. And at the same time trying to gather troops to save your uncle, right? So you meet all these wonderful people, and they're all conflicted, right? They all have their conflict on the side, so these become side quests, right? So, they eventually culminate.
I don't want to call them side quests.
What would you call
them? Main quest.
Main quest? Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Because...
Well, actually, yeah, you're right. It's like... Yeah, you're right. Yeah, side quests would be like the smaller ones, like in the little,
like the Tales of Tsushima.
Yeah, Tales of Tsushima. Yeah.
But yeah, like because honestly, Jin, you end up liking Jin so much towards the end, but like towards the beginning, you're just kind of like don't really care about this character just because he's so vanilla.
Yeah.
He just seems kind of bland and there's nothing outstanding about him. Yeah. You later learn that he's actually like one of the best swordsmen in the island.
Yeah.
But it's like not a topic that it's like kind of like touched upon until like you get to know Ryuzo.
Yeah. Another key character in the story.
Yeah. But like the biggest like the reason why you were so conflicted is because of your allies as well.
Yeah, that too.
Mainly because of Yuna, but these samurai are actually like on your side too. Like they're just like, no, I get it. Like we gotta like do this to like repel the invasion.
Yeah.
So yeah, like without these quests from these character lines, a lot of the game just wouldn't make sense.
Yeah, and you're 100% right, because you do fight alongside them on the main quests, like all throughout. Like they help you in the main quest. So yeah, you're right. So and then but like they do have their little like side stories, I guess. They're part of your big story, but they have their conflicts on their side that they're trying to get through, right? Because again, war is there, right? So some of them have had their entire family slaughtered. One of them has a student that just went rogue and started killing and teaching the enemy their way of fighting, of archery. And another one of like is a Ronin head. He's the head of a bunch of unsigned samurai, right, with no lord, no clan. So he's like, hey, you know what? I'm just gonna be like, under me. I will take you and I will feed you. We will be our own clan, right? And a merchant just trying to get by. So yeah, like all these stories, which by the way, and then the warrior monk Norio's story really got me.
It was really good.
Yeah, so these are just like, and I thought they were so well written. Honestly, each of these could actually just be their own video game.
Yeah, I saw like a tweet where like someone, I forgot who it was. I don't remember who said it, but they said that Lady Masako should be the protagonist in this game.
Oh.
And it would just be like just as good. And yeah, like her story was just incredible.
Yeah.
But it had a weird ending, I thought the ending of her tale was just kind of bittersweet, I guess. Just because you kill, so her story is about her family was murdered,
right?
After the fight at Komodo Beach, after her husband was killed in action, someone actually came into her estate and murdered her family, her sons, her daughters, her grandchildren, everyone in the clan.
Right.
Just wiped. Some like Naruto ass shit.
Yeah.
So she's just trying to like find out who did it, why, and just get her revenge.
Right.
Turns out it was her sister, who she thought was already dead.
Yeah.
It was a very like, I don't know, just finding out that it was her sister and her reasoning behind it, that like, you sent me away to like marry this guy, which is like some weird like petty shit.
Yeah.
So I wasn't like super happy with it. But I love the story up to her point, up to that point, just because it was just kind of cool seeing like a mother revenge story,
Okay, right.
Just like a mother just done with it, but like just not, like, because when media portrays like a mother revenge story, it's usually like a mother just like kind of going crazy, just, like, just angry. But yeah, like Masako was angry, but she was strong. Like she was like she's been a trained fighter.
Yeah.
So yeah, she was filled with rage to like get her revenge on whoever did it. But like she was also just kicking ass, like not just like mindlessly like killing people that were like somewhat connected. She was actually like trained and like was able to wield a sword. Right. And she was just a really cool character.
She was super dope.
Yeah, like, and then she's bi.
Oh, is she really? Oh, she is.
Yeah.
Yeah, because she had like, she was in love with one of the servants.
Yeah, one of her servants.
Yeah.
And I actually thought like that was like one of the cooler arcs.
Yeah.
Which we got like 2 representation arcs in this game, which I thought it was like really cool.
Okay.
One was like very minor, was just like actually like a side quest where did you do it?
Which one?
It's
I can't remember, but I don't know.
It's just like some guy that you get to a village and people are kind of like arguing and they're like, hey, like it's because we think that this guy is a Mongol spy. I forgot his name, but it's just like an actual just like side character, like villager. And he's just like, no, like I'm not a Mongol spy. Like,
Oh, because he leaves at night.
he just leaves at night.
Yeah, I remember.
And he's like, come with me, and I'll show you why.
Yeah.
And then he just takes you like to some grave, and he's like, who's buried here? And he's like, oh, it's this person. He was just a great person. And you're just like, oh, I get it.
Yeah,
I get it. Like, you're gay and your lover got murked, and like, that's depressing.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, that actually was really sad. I saw that. I was like, oh man, like that sucks. Like,
yeah. So sucks. Like, I'm just kind of like want to like go into like this little tangent of like LGBT like representation in this game, because I did not expect it. I didn't think they were gonna actually like not cater, but like, you know, like actually show that off like in this game.
Right. Okay.
You know, just because being like feudal Japan, you're not gonna see that.
Right.
Like, you don't see that ever.
Yeah.
And like, you know, like how much I got into this game, I started like looking into like a little bit of samurai history, like not super like extensively, but just like reading on it, and like, you know, like samurai used to like sleep with each other, just because they're warriors, they're just constantly together. You know, it's like the whole sailors sailors thing. You know, like of course they were fucking gay. Like
yeah, for sure.
So yeah, like it was just like it's a nice like thing to know about like that era, but it's obviously gonna be like very hidden, because during that era, it's you know different mindsets, and
of course,
like they're like constantly kind of like trying to keep it under wraps. So like that question specifically, which was really cool to see, because like this guy is probably really afraid to show anyone who he was.
Exactly.
So like it was like a nice like, I guess, like timepiece to see like how the era is represented, like, like how this culture is represented in this era.
Right.
But one of my favorite things is actually Jin's reaction to it.
Okay.
Because it's none.
Yeah, he's just like, all right, like,
I think he's like, when the guy mentions it, it's like, oh, like he was just someone, like, I think he was someone I loved. I think he said that. And then like Jin's just like, well, he must have been a great man. Yeah,
like he doesn't exactly. He keeps it like if it's like normal, because it is normal for him. It's just like, it's like
for him, like
it's
like,
okay. Like
you get like that sense that like, wow, like Jin's actually just a really good person. Like, he's not like, they could have just made like some throwaway line.
Like he's not judging him or anything. He's just like,
okay, but they wrote him as like a genuine person who loves people, who loves his people, because he is a lord, you know.
Exactly.
And it's the same thing with in the Masako, once you find out that she was sleeping with her servant.
Right.
Same thing. Like, the thing is, like, Jin's disappointed in her, but because she cheated on Lord Adachi. Yeah, like, not because she's gay, like, because she cheated on Lord Adachi, which is just like, that's dishonorable.
Yeah, right. You're cheating on your spouse.
Yeah. And I just thought it was like really well done, and it wasn't, you know, like a thing where it seemed like pandering. It just seemed like a genuine thing in the game. It was like, yeah, this totally happened here. Like,
right.
It's not being self-inserted. It's just a genuine organic thing that most likely could have happened in that period.
Right. It's a sort of like realism. Like, it's like this is part of like life in those times, you know, people being scared of coming out gay, you know, for being, you know, beaten, you know, dishonored, you know, whatever the thing may be, right? Whatever they do in every location of the world, you know, obviously people are scared of like coming out, you know. Till now, that's why people are like, a lot of people are scared of coming out, you know, when they are gay, when they are bi, when they are queer, when they are, you know, whatever they identify themselves with, because of the norms and traditions that are, you know, that we live through, you know, we live in, we're raised during our houses, our homes, our parents, our family, friends, you know, stuff like that. So people are, you know, like, it's completely understandable that like this happened and they showed this, because again, it being feudal Japan, probably very traditionalistic, you know, very, very conservative in a way, you know, it's part of the story, you know, part of that world, part of that universe, which is our universe as well, you know, to an extent. That's why with Masako when she found out her sister was the one that happened, I kind of felt like, you know what? It makes sense because she says like Lord Adachi was supposed to end up with Masako's sister, because she was the older one, so she was next in line to get married. Such as, you know, they used to do it back in the day. You know, it's like, all right, well, your sister's older. Some guy comes, gets her, they marry her off she goes. Right, they take her. You know, so you know, but obviously, you know how Masako says like her story. Right, she's like, okay, well, yeah, like at the time that we were being attacked, I defended, you know, from the thieves that were attacking us, and at this time, Lord Adachi showed up, saw me just get rid of these thugs, these thieves, and like he fell in love with me, and like we hit it off, right? And I feel like my sister has always resented me for that, because then Lord Adachi and I had kind of like hooked him up with this other samurai lord, and you know she went off, right? But it was like, yeah, like they sold her off in a way, you know, to go with this samurai, not knowing his intentions, right? So that's why the sister's like pissed when she's like begging on her knees, like when when Masako finds out that it's her. She's like, you send me up north with this drunk that would beat me and stuff like that. I've lived a life of hell with him. Like I hate my life. I've always hated it, and I've always hated you for what you did to me. You know, because of these traditions, of these values. You know, like you stole a life from me. You stole the Adachi clan life from me, and you gave me this life with this drunk that beats women. You know, so like when I was like, you know, like I guess living a life like that, she wanted her revenge, even if it was her sister. And I was just like, that's nuts, you know. But like, I felt good about that. Obviously not about like what happened to them, right? Yeah. But about her reasoning why, take into consideration the time and like the traditions of that time, right? So that's why I was like, you know, I liked it for that. Right? I felt like it was like, okay, like it hits the ding ding marker in there, like it makes sense.
Yeah, like I guess like my complaint about it was just it's just she was so fueled with rage that I wanted her to like just go to town. Yeah. She just like gives her the smaller katana and she's like,
yeah, kill yourself, like
finish it up.
Yeah, and it's because of things too. Like it's that like thirst for vengeance, right? Every time you hear vengeance, everyone's like, vengeance is not good. Like don't like it's like forgive, you know? It's like forgive, don't take vengeance, because vengeance, like, and that's what happened, right? He's like, here you go. I'm not even gonna kill you. You're gonna kill yourself. And at the end, it's like Jin to Masako. He's like, so how do you feel? And he's just like, this didn't make it any better. Like, I'm still on the same path. Like this didn't.
That's
make it
the thing. Like I get it. Like, you know, like that's the whole part. Like the whole thing about vengeance. You know, it's like it's never gonna fulfill you.
Right.
I feel like it could have fulfilled her, just because like, you know, it's not even just like, wow, you did me dirty, I need payback. Mm-hmm. Like, no, you killed children, like my children, my grandkids,
my lineage, my heirs, everything. You destroyed everything.
Yeah, like I like you don't like you gotta do something. You know, like
you gotta do something.
You gotta do something. You know,
they're gonna make me act up.
Gonna do something I'm gonna regret.
I'm regret.
Yeah, like
oh god.
It just felt like I said, like just bittersweet. Like I wanted her to just, you know, like she went through all of that. You know, trying to like track down who did it. She killed so many people. Like on the way to find out who it was. Like, what's one more thing, you know, like I feel like it would have at least like satisfied her a little bit better.
You don't feel like she felt guilt? Maybe that's why. Maybe like Masako felt guilt. She's like, she has a point. She did go like way to the extreme, but like she might have a point. And given how traditionalistic Masako is, she's like, I did overstep my boundaries in like the family, in the tradition, and how things are supposed to be. I did screw her over.
But like that's the thing, you know, like it's in being like in such a male dominated culture. Mm-hmm. It wasn't up to her.
Well, I mean, yeah, I guess it wasn't. You're right.
Yeah, because like Adachi picked her. She was just like, this bitch is badass. Like, I want some of that pie.
Yeah.
You know?
I want some of that. I want some of that WAP.
So, like, yeah, like it wasn't up to her, and you know, I guess like she probably did feel a lot of guilt for doing that to her sister, but you know, like I'm pretty sure Masako is smart enough, like, you know, eventually she'll realize like, no, like it's not my fault, like, yeah, you know, like I'm following like an outdated tradition, but you know, like I did it out of the kindness of my heart, you know, like I wanted my sister to thrive, you know, like, hey, like I got married off to this lord, she can do so too, and then live a prosperous life, you know?
Right.
So it's not like she did it out of spite, you know, like it's not like, oh, I'm gonna marry her off with this guy because he's like way the fuck out here, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, like I mean, I don't think it's like a problem with like the narrative. Like it was just like a personal thing I didn't enjoy too much. And honestly, like that's a lot of the parts in this game. There are little things that I personally didn't like that I would have done differently.
Okay.
But they're not a problem. They're not a problem in the narrative.
Right. Oh, of course. You know, I
think the narrative like kind of nails where it wants to go. Sometimes I just kind of wish it went a different direction.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah.
But that's just like a personal thing. I wish Ryuzo was more prominent in like as an antagonist.
Okay.
Just because
he was cool as hell.
So I love Ryuzo and I'll stand by it, and I say he didn't do anything wrong.
Yeah, okay, so Ryuzo is Jin's friend from childhood. However, he wasn't a samurai. He was a ronin. So he was running around, you know. And they have some backstory, some chit-chat in one of the missions where he used to be a samurai, but they had a fight, and then he's no longer a samurai, like, because Jin beat him. You know, so he was
never a samurai. He could have become a samurai.
Yeah, he could have become one if he had beat Jin.
Beaten Jin.
Yeah,
but that's when you start, like it tells you that, like, Jin's just that good of a swordsman.
Yeah, like, this guy just slaps.
Yeah, but, yeah, like, I thought Ryuzo was, like, a really cool character. The way they built him up, just, like, as just a regular old ronin, you know, like, just, you know, just taking freelance jobs to, like, get by.
Yeah.
But I loved his conviction towards being a leader.
100%.
Yeah, like not being a samurai, like not like standing up for something like honorable.
Yeah.
Because obviously, like, ronin still follow the traditions of like samurai, like as far as combat goes. But they're their own like group. So, like, I understand that
I think they're warriors without a shogun. I think that's what a ronin is. Yeah,
essentially. That's where kind of I was going for. Like, the point of this game is about, you know, weirdly, like, fighting for your country, just because not for your country, but like to defend your homeland.
Right.
And it's has a very patriotic theme to it.
Very.
And it's kind of disgusting, but but the way that they set up Ryuzo is that he's fighting for his people, not for his country.
Yeah.
In Jin's head, he sees fighting the Mongols as fighting for his people. But he's really just fighting for, you know, like, his island, his borders. You know, like, he wants to fucking build that wall, you know.
But like a good wall.
But yeah, like, it's like a good wall, you know, because like the people that are actually coming in are actually fucking killing people. Yeah, they're actually killing. You know? Yeah, exactly. But like, I love that Ryuzo was for his people. You know, like, it's like, hey man, like, I'm not gonna fucking help you because I'm gonna get killed. You know, like, I'm trying to watch out for my boys. Like, it's just me and my boys. You know. Yeah,
like, there needs to be an end for us. I got mouths to feed, dude. We can't just fight for this country when we're starving. Like, we need to take care of ourselves, and then we'll talk about, like, what we can do for you and the island of Tsushima.
Yeah, like, he realizes what the problems are with the shogunate, and doesn't really want to stand for them. Yeah. And I just really like that concept, you know. adding those like different groups of people like all over Tsushima,
Mm-hmm.
really, like you said, like felt real. You know, like adding like these like real world issues. You know,
Mm-hmm.
showing that like current like political and societal like problems are not
Yes.
like current. Like they've been around for ages.
Yeah, huge, dude,
Um,
huge. Like
yeah.
that was a
So
huge point of it that I was just kind of like, this grabs me like hella grabs me.
yeah. Uh, just
Just yeah, I was like, yes, like because it's so relatable at any time in history.
yeah.
Today, tomorrow, yesterday, 30, 100, 200, 1,000 years from now, 1,000 years in the past, it's always gonna be a part of, you know, the patriotism of a person, you know, where you're from, your country, your principles, your beliefs, and they capture it so well. You know, talking to these characters that have these issues, you know, and it's like you said, it's not just something that like it came up. It's been a thing, like even when there was no invasion,
Mm.
you know, and like the war bringing these characters together. You know, it's like, hey, well, like we have Jin, you know, wants to fight for the island of Tsushima, for his uncle, for, you know, what they have. And you have some other guys who are like, you know what, dude, I'm not with you, but I get what you're trying to do, and I will help you. But let's just make sure that I'm not 100% with everything that you're fighting for.
Yeah.
And making that, putting that into context in the story when you have a goal in mind, but you also, it helps you keep in mind other people because they are the people you're fighting for. It does in such a great way to, like, you know, like put you in that world at that moment. It's not just like, oh, we're gonna go fight, you know, and kill and save. It's like, no, like there's issues here that are deeper, that are poisoning, you know, everything.
Yeah. Like, yeah, like, you know, like that's kind of like the whole thing with your allies, you know. They're not trying to like stop I mean, like, yeah, they're trying to stop the invasion because they're like, oh, they're messing up my life, you know.
Yeah.
They're not like, we gotta do this for the shogun. No,
Uh-huh. Yeah, exactly.
we gotta stop them.
Exactly.
You know, I like even some of them, you know, their interests kind of align with yours at certain points, but they're really doing it because you have been such a great help to their cause.
Right.
That they're like, well, I owe you one. Like,
Yeah.
you're a real one, bro.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I gotta help you out, you know. So I thought that was just like a yeah, exactly
Hit him with the samurai. I mean,
Yeah.
with the gladiator handshake.
the gladiator.
It's okay.
So like, you know, like it's a really cool thing that what the allies were doing at that point, you know, because yeah, like
Uh-huh.
they're not completely loyal to like the shogunate. I mean, like, yeah, some of them are obviously you know, especially like, you know, Ishikawa is probably like just like licking those sandals, I guess.
yeah, look at those sandals. They're pretty much.
Yeah, like Ishikawa loves the shogun, like for sure. Like,
Yeah, he's
absolutely.
he's like, that's my man. I wasn't at the fight because I had Tomoe over here just
Yeah, I was like dealing
slaughtering
with my
people.
bullshit. Like,
Yeah, exactly. Like in the
And,
boots. I hate you. That's funny though.
so I guess like going back to like one of like besides patriotism, the other like main thing this game kind of brings up, and I guess it still kind of goes hand in hand with patriotism. It's just like something you kind of mentioned earlier, which is like the breaking of the traditions.
Yeah.
It's not. I like that they did it with not just the regular like samurai traditions, but just like traditional like way of thinking, I guess. Because like another like story that I really enjoyed was Ishikawa's, but like in a weird way.
Okay.
Because Ishikawa is like hands down like my least favorite character in the game.
Oh, he's an asshole.
Like, yeah, like, but like, you know, even under like Khotun Khan, you know, like,
Yeah. Oh wow.
like
Okay.
everyone,
You
like,
really
I
don't
fucking
like this
hated
guy.
yeah, like
Yeah.
I fucking hated Ishikawa
Okay.
because he's like that old prick that's like, you should listen to your elders. Like,
Yeah, 100%. He's like, don't go against me. I'll fucking kill you.
yeah,
I
but
like question
yeah.
me again, motherfucker. I'll kill you. He literally tells you like
yeah,
three
like he
fucking
tells you
times.
that, and it's like, no, old man, like you fucked up.
Yeah, exactly.
You actually fucked up, and you don't realize it because you're just so stuck in your own ways.
Yeah.
And as you progress with the story with him, like Jin just tries to like challenge him on everything.
Mm-hmm. He's like, but why? Like, why?
Yeah, but you can tell like he's still like stuck in like the traditional like ways, where it's like, well, I can't really say much to him because he's my sensei. Like,
yeah, exactly. Respect
But
your elders.
yeah, but like the whole time, man, I was just like, I fucking hate this man. Like,
Yeah,
this guy, this guy fucked up, man. Like,
yeah, 100%.
he didn't want to take students, but he took a student. He took the wrong student. He tried to kill the student.
You try killing the fucking student, dude.
And
It's like, oh man, it's the definition of like a boomer, dude. It's like some boomer
yeah,
ass
exactly.
dude.
Like that's
Just
exactly
like
what it is.
stuck in his ways, and it thinks that's just the right way to do everything. And it's like, no, dude, have you thought about like this, or like, have you thought about you hurting other people by being this prick that you are? And it's just like, don't fucking question me because you're a younger idiot. Like, it's just like that. So that's why like each character brings something to the table where you're just like, I've always felt like relatable, because it was relatable back then. It's relatable still now, and that's where like again it just sucked me in because I'm like, oh yeah, like I'm pretty sure I had this conversation before. I'm sure I've talked to someone before that went exactly like this, And
there was a line that like just made me like, that's when I realized like how much I hated him. Yeah, like he tells Jin like I think you could be a great leader someday, but don't ever question me.
Yeah.
And it's like, what? Like, no.
Yeah, exactly, dude. Oh, God, yeah. Like, he was annoying. I really enjoyed his missions with Tomoe, chasing down Tomoe.
Yeah.
Because I was like, bro, they're pitting Tomoe to be a badass. Like, because she was just like, I mean, yeah, she went rogue.
Was.
Yeah, she was a badass. And then
when she deflects the arrow.
Oh,
like,
my God, dude.
Oh, my God.
It's so good, dude. Yeah, and then, like, she has, like, the fox mask. The Inari mask. Yeah. Oh, my God. I was just like, yes. Like, I was wondering when I would see this mask, being a huge weeb. And I was like, where is it? Oh, hell yeah. Tomoe, one of the best archers in the game, has it. Yeah, okay. It makes sense. And then the quest, hunting her down, eventually like siding with her. You know, she's looking for a better life, as everyone is. You know, that you've come to find out that everyone with issues is just trying to like live a better life or trying to run away from this war. And then at the end, you know, she just gets in a smuggler ship and leaves the mask behind with a broken bow. When I saw a broken bow, and I was just like, that is so hard. Like,
that's hard.
She's like, you know what?
I
like,
loved it.
She's like, I'm leaving what I know behind. Like, I could just go and teach archery like in mainland Japan and just become the shit. And she's like, you know what? No, I've only caused pain. I want a fresh start. I'm leaving everything behind. And I was just like, that is satisfactory.
Yeah.
This old dude, Ishikawa, didn't get his revenge how he wanted. He just learned a lesson to be like, forgiveness, I guess. And then Tomoe is like, hey, you know what? Like, I'm out of here. Like, I want a fresh start. And then that mission prior to that, when you're like, you find her just traveling, you think it's like some peasant, and it's her, and you're like, oh my God, you're talking to her, you're like getting to know her, looking for squirrels and shit. And I was like, oh, I love that mission so much.
That mission was so good, just because like it's like telegraphed, but like for a reason.
Yeah,
like you just like see this girl and you're like, oh, this is fucking Tomoe, like, for sure.
Yeah, it's like, it's too, these conversations are too meaningful to not be someone important.
Yeah, and then like you get to the, like her like little house, and you're just like, so like, oh, like she's like, oh, like, Jin, you can stay the night, and it's like, so you can kill me, Tomoe. And I was like, bet.
Hard, dude. Hardest, dude. I was just like, hard, dude.
Hard.
That shit was hard. Dude, yeah, so good. And then, so yeah, we have a lot of great characters in this game that bring so much to the table, so much, so much development, right, for themselves and for Jin. Which at this point, you know, playing through these stories, you're getting to know Jin Sakai, you're feeling empathy for him, you're liking him, and you know he's just pushing to his goal, right? Which, going back to the main story, being in the main story, Lord Shimura. You save Lord Shimura. You save your uncle, right? And then so now your uncle's like, okay, cool. Thank you for saving me. Now let's get these Mongols out of our island, right? But he's like, hey, you know what, dude? I've heard you've been, people speaking here and there, and I've heard a couple rumors that you're not fighting in the most honorable way, dude. You're using some sort of weird tactics that aren't samurai-like. Just make sure to keep it to a minimum or to a none. Don't do this anymore. Like, just don't use that. We're good. We're back. Yeah. We'll fight the honorable way, and we'll win this war, baby, because we're samurai, and this is the way to do it. It's like, all right, uncle, sure. Like, we'll do this, dude. And then you just go back and then just throw some kunai at some dude and just fucking slash their throats.
On the neck,
yeah, right. Which, by the way, Jesus, what was your favorite ghost weapon? And I before you said, I love saying ghost instead of they never use ninja. Because like, what's a ninja? It's like, oh shit, what's this fighting style? It's like he's like a ghost. It's like, oh, like, I love that too. Like, I love it so much. I was like, hell yeah, that's dope. But yes, your favorite ghost weapon?
It's a sticky bomb for sure.
Sticky bomb?
I mean, like sticky bomb or like just a smoke bomb, especially like when you upgrade it with like the extra healing.
Yeah. Oh hell yeah.
Easy.
Hell yeah. All right, cool. Mine was the kunai.
A kunai?
Yeah, I because it throws 3, right? But at one point I was running the charm that lets you throw 2 extra kunai, so it throws 5. So dude, there were points where I was just like standoff or whatever, or like I saw like a pack of like Mongols just like scouting or whatever, like just doing their thing. Boom, just threw my kunai out, all 5 dead. I was just like, or like 3 dead, 2 were like staggered. I would just go for the kill, and I was like, this is so cool. Or just fighting and they're coming behind you, just to turn around, throw the kunai. You see them, you see them fly, and you see like the wind swirls.
Yeah.
Dude, I was just like, that is the coolest thing ever. I was like, I want to throw stuff now. I'm gonna start throwing stuff in my house. I'm just like, just. I just thought it was really cool. I just thought it was super, super gnarly. And then, what's up?
No, yeah, like I kind of wanted to go into like, just like the mechanics of like switching combat systems. I thought it was like really well done. Like it wasn't like a very compelling combat system. Because like I said, I was like, oh, this is a very Arkham game. It was very like counter heavy type of game, which was fine. Like I kind of like I was expecting that, and I was completely okay with it. But the way that they blended like the combat with the story, I think worked perfectly, because you could literally play the whole game with just standoffs on. Like, obviously, like, and then the missions where they kind of force you to sneak in.
Right, yeah, of course.
But other than that, you could just fight the samurai way.
Yeah.
Like, you don't have to sneak anywhere besides the required missions.
Right.
Or you could just sneak the whole game.
Yeah, you get that option. You can fight these Mongol invaders as however you want. And,
so
that freedom's nice.
I'm sorry, continue.
No, I'm saying that freedom was nice to be able to like fight that way.
Yeah, so like that's my thing, because a couple people I've talked to about the game kind of tell me, like either they have played it or even people that have just watched videos of it.
Yeah,
they think the combat's like repetitive. I like say yes, it is repetitive, but there's so many options that you can kind of tackle the missions as you want to.
It's repetitive. It's repetitive if you make it repetitive for yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
There are so many weapons, so many different tactics you could use, so many environment things you could use, like the beehives, burning the tall grass and fire, sneaking, standoffs, fighting with, just a certain stance if you want to challenge. It's just it's repetitive if you make it repetitive, in my opinion, because I tried tackling every different scenario in a different way, right? I guess, again, incorporating myself into, like, Jin's head. It's like, how would I go about this? Or it would be cool if I can pull this off. And then, just go about that way. So I was trying to make it not repetitive for myself, because I know exactly what they mean by the game feeling, like, repetitive or being repetitive, or it could feel repetitive. Because I have done that to myself in the past, where I'm playing a game and I'm like, well, this is kind of like the meta. Like, this is just broken. I'm just going to do this over and over and over and over again. Then I forget about all the different mechanics and all the different weapons you can use, right? So if you're exploiting the best, it's like, well, you're kind of like defeating the purpose of this. Like, right? That's why we have all this variety. And not all these weapons are going to be like broken. because then the game would just be too easy and like you lose interest, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, like definitely like try fighting different like ways and even like different stances, even if they're not um like the like let's say like the shield breaker, right? It's like, well, maybe try holding like the brute one and just kick the shield off instead of like breaking their guard. It also works. You just gotta hold that button, give the kick, and it works. So it's like it's cool. Like throwing like not the optimal stance for a situation, and I think I thought it was fun. To be honest with you, I thought it was really fun. I never found myself bored or felt like it was repetitive.
Yeah. So like, I think that's kind of like you kind of nailed it. It's not boring at all. Like it seems like it could be like a very boring system that could get kind of like lackluster after a while. But it's not. You know, it's kind of like how you approach the missions, and that's where you'll really get the fun out of it.
Yeah.
Because like I've been gushing about this game for since I finished it. Well, actually, since like halfway through it. You know.
Right.
And one of my friends actually told me, he's like, because he just started it recently, and he was telling me that it's like, well, I can kind of tell like when you're kind of biased about a video game. And like, because he's like, yeah, man, like the combat in Tsushima, like it's kind of dry, man. Like it's pretty boring. And I was like, what? I was like, how many stances do you have? And he's like, stances? And I was like,
oh, there you go. There it is.
There you go.
Yeah.
Like, how many ghost weapons do you have? And like he hadn't even like he had barely like gone to like the first Yuna mission, you know?
Oh yeah, nah.
So I was like, dude, like it feels dry because you're a dry ass samurai.
Yeah, that's why you need to
like
go out there and fight for your people.
Yeah, like you gotta find yourself.
Yeah, you gotta find yourself. So. Yeah, exactly, dude. It was so good, man. And yeah, the mechanics were good. The combat was solid. Speaking of combat, here's one of my cons. The AI was not the best. The enemy AI was not the best. It was good, but there were situations where I find myself on a like tiny platform, and if there were no archers,
yeah,
they were just like standing next to me, like without swinging. I'm like, dude, you could swing at me and just chop off my feet right now. You know, like you could go in. I did like, you know, some of them like in the third act adapting, right? So sometimes like you're just there like on a rooftop and they see you, they start throwing like kunais at you or like start throwing stuff at you or like with the bow and arrow. I'm like, oh crap, I thought I was like invisible on rooftops. But the AI, like the enemy got smarter, you know, because like they are like in one of the parts of the missions, right? So the jump from act 2 to 3, right? So let's go real quick before I jump into like the rest of this combat.
Oh, we're going to act 2 to 3?
Well,
let me get my Kleenex.
Okay, for sure. All right. So act 2, right? You get your uncle, you start getting like more of an army, whatever, you do the whole thing. You like your story starts progressing. Because Taka dies. People, if Taka dies, Yuna's brother dies. Does Taka get killed before Jin poisons the Mongols, or is it after?
It's after.
It's after, right? Okay. So, finally, you get people, right? You and your uncle and a bunch of samurai that the shogun sent from mainland Japan get there. And it's like, okay, well, and you have your people that you've been fighting alongside, and we're like, okay, you know what? We're going to take it to Castle Shimura, where now Khotun Khan has moved, right? So we saved your uncle. He went up north. He got to Shimura's castle. Now you're going to storm it. So you're pushing. The Khan withdraws into through a bridge, and then he blows up the bridge, right? And Shimura just sends a bunch of people, and then like the bridge just blows up. A bunch of samurai and allies just die, and you just send them to their death, right? And Jin's like, that's not okay. These are lives. These are humans. These are people. Why did you do that to them? And he's just like, they're numbers. Like, we had to kill them. Like, this is the cost of war. And that's when Jin's like, this is not okay. Like, this is wrong. This is not the samurai way is wrong in this. This shouldn't be tolerated. So Jin takes it upon himself to be like, hey, you know what? I'm gonna sneak in there in the middle of the night and just kill them all. You know, and then tomorrow morning when my stupid uncle decides to attack, guess what, uncle? Everyone's dead. No one has to die from our side anymore. So Jin gets his ass in there. Hey, Yuna, can you get me a bunch of poisonous flowers? Sure, Jin, I got you. Gets the flowers. Oh, cat alert. If you're watching this, you just saw the cutest cat run by. And if you're listening to this, tune in to YouTube. The Goodnight Gamescast. And you'll see a cat at a minute and 4 or 5 around there.
An hour and 5.
An hour and 5, an hour and 4. There you go.
I've been fending her off like this whole time. She's been trying to climb on the desk, and she finally did.
Really? That's cute. And then Jin gets in there, fights Ryuzo to the death. They fought before. I forgot to go over that, but they fought before because Ryuzo now is allied with the Mongols. Because obviously the Mongols are like, hey, you know what? Like, join our side. We got food. Your people won't go hungry. Your warriors won't go hungry. You'll be good, dude. Like, we're gonna win. So be on our good side. And then so you fight your childhood friend to the death. He kills himself. You give him the knife. He kills himself. The honorable samurai way. And then you put poison into the drink that the Mongols are drinking while they're having their feast. You know, the night before another big battle. Jin waits there. They all die. They start puking blood. The poison kicks in. They all die, right? And then, boom, it's already dawn. Samurais walk in. Your uncle walks in, and it's like, uncle, like, we got him. like, ladies and gentlemen, we got him. And then he's like, Jin, what the fuck did you do? What did you do? You're one of them. You've used their tactics against them, and that is very dishonorable. And he's like, promise me, just tell me it was Yuna. Tell me it was all Yuna. We'll arrest her. You know, the person that saved your life, you know, pulled you from battle so you wouldn't die. Just tell me it was her. We'll imprison her. We'll ship her off to the Shogun, and you'll be fine. Just tell me it was her doing, and it was her fault. Jin's like, nah, dude. Like, I'm the ghost, dude. Like,
I'm the ghost.
I'm the ghost, dude. I did this shit because I saved lives. Your uncle, who you love so much, who is a father figure, puts you under arrest, and that's it. Days pass by. You're in a cell. You're just waiting to be shipped off to the Shogun, right? So he can kind of judge you. And then
he was just gonna kill you.
Oh yeah, he's just gonna behead your ass, 100%. He's just gonna kill your ass. Like, he's like, nah, dude, there's no judging here. And then, your friends that you made along the way, they help you escape. So you're escaping now. You're escaping to the northernmost part of the island, where, there's not a lot of presence from the samurais there, right? Because they haven't crossed yet. So you grab your horse. You grab your horse.
But how did you escape?
Yeah, so you're just running through whatever, doing your thing, grab your horse, and you take off. But as you're leaving, your horse gets shot with a couple of arrows, right? Because obviously you're not a superhero, you're a human, and your horse, so arrows flying everywhere. Your horse gets shot. You're walking in the snow, it's like you've been walking for days or whatever, and your horse dies, which you've had your horse the entire game. And it's not just some horse. You name your horse. When you call to your horse comes, and the missions, like, you guys are sleeping, like you guys are taking a nap, and it's like, hey, you hit him with the elbow. It's, hey, wake up, time to get going. Or something sad happens, and Jin is just holding his face. The horse hits him like in the shoulder, and he's like, hey man, like, it's okay, like, it'll be all right, like, cheer up. So your horse has personality. You get to love your horse, and it's like, hey, like, for mine, my first one was Kaze. No, my first one was Kage. Kage was my first horse, and he's like, hey, like, Kage, like, you're a good horse. Like, after this, we'll take a nice ride and stuff like that. You're a good horse. You're a best friend. Like, you're a good pal, right?
Yeah.
Your horse fucking dies, dude. They kill your horse on your way north. Jesus, how'd you feel about that?
Like, we talked about Taka's death.
Yeah.
Like, in such passing. Like, yeah, Taka dies.
Oh yeah. So Taka dies, right?
But
he gets beheaded by the Khan.
Yeah. It's such a good moment, but like that's kind of what I want to go into, because like it's such an important thing in the story, and like that's kind of what we mentioned, that like Taka doesn't have a real arc, but he means so much, because he's the reason why Yuna is just kind of like decided that like, hey, I'm gonna help you.
Yeah.
But in comparison to your horse dying, his death doesn't mean shit. Because that horse is with you from day one, man. He's your homie for life.
Oh my god. It was so sad. It was so fucking sad, dude. And like, and don't get me wrong, dude, like Taka's death was like super sad. Because like, dude, like the Khan gives him like your katana, the Sakai clan katana, and he's like, all right, like kill Sakai, your friend. And then Taka's like just holding the katana there, and he's about to swing, and he just turns around and swings at Khotun Khan, right? Khotun Khan obviously being a freaking fighter, you know, like a warrior. He just moves out of the way, grabs him, whatever, this and that, takes the katana away and just beheads him in front of you. Beheads one of your friends in front of you, dude. Like that has to be like, honestly, dude, I think beheading is probably just the worst way to kill someone, or the worst way of death, right? Like I just think it's like, dude, it's a head. You're beheading someone. Like it's now a head and a body. It's no longer like a full person. This is like the worst, the most barbaric thing. And so that not being as crushing as your horse dying says a lot about how your horse comes into the story.
And like, it sounds like we're like weirdly like downplaying like how much the horse means to you, but like it's one of those things where you have to play it.
Yes, 100%.
Where like once you're playing it, and because like obviously like don't listen to this unless you've played it. Because like you're not even gonna realize like how much that horse means to you.
Yeah.
Like I personally like, I don't like horses. They're weird. They scare me. I'm gonna pass on that.
You're fucking weird. Wow.
I'm
not even going to because I'm gonna spend an hour like talking shit to you. But yes, continue.
Why? Horses are weird, man.
Horses are beautiful, dude. They're cute. Like
they're fucking weird looking, dude.
They're a little scary sometimes because you're like, oh fuck, they're big, you know, and they can kill you. They can kill you with like a kick. But come on, dude.
Yeah, but like it's not like they're scary because like this thing can kill me. Like there's a lot of things that can kill me. But they're just weird looking. Fuck off with that shit. Also, like if you're someone that is into horses, like just like that's your like character trait, get the shit out of here. Like
your character trait.
I don't want to talk to you.
Damn. All right. Damn. All right.
Yeah, I'm gonna put it out there. I don't care.
Oh wow. Okay.
But this horse
was
a real one, dude.
That horse is real as fuck, dude.
And I didn't even know it, especially because it can't die like ever.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You can like jump off a cliff and like Yoshi that shit, like jump off, jump off the cliff with the horse, and then jump off the horse and like roll just to survive, so you don't die.
The horse is so important; it has plot armor.
Yeah, exactly. Then it doesn't.
But then it doesn't because it's part of the plot. It's period in the plot ended. His time came and went. And then one of the shittiest things is that like on the map, if you hover over where it died, it says a friend's grave. Oh, dude,
loyal friend's grave.
Yeah, it's terrifying, dude. I mean, not terrifying. It's just really sad.
Yeah. So I actually had to stop playing the game, but not like instantly. Like I kept going with the mission, like more like with the story. Like I was like, okay, like I gotta travel on to like this new waypoint or whatever.
Yeah.
Gotta meet up with Yuna in this fucking place. And I started like riding, you know, like I found like some random horse. I like just kept on trotting.
Oh, like a super skinny horse that they give you? Yeah.
And then like I was just kind of like just wandering the world, like not really like riding with a purpose.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I can't. I literally like I need to take a pause. I turned off the PlayStation and I went to sleep.
Yeah, dude, because
like it defeated me, man. Like my girlfriend was in the shower. She came out and like woke me up because I didn't even go to my bed. Like I slept like on the couch. She woke me up and she was like, because we were gonna watch a movie, and she's like, hey, like, are you ready? And I was like, give me like 10 more minutes. And I just like went back to sleep again. And you know, usually like 10 minutes is like you're not gonna fall asleep.
Yeah, right.
No, I knocked out again for 10 minutes, like immediately.
So
I woke up.
The depression hit.
Yeah, I woke up and like she could tell that there was something wrong with me. Like I was just kind of like off, like just kind of just lost in my own thoughts.
Yeah.
She was like, "Hey, like, are you okay?" And I was like, Nah,
I'm not okay.
I'm not okay. It's just like, is it Nobu? I was like, yeah.
Oh, is it? Oh, you named your horse Nobu?
I named it Nobu.
Nice, nice.
And yeah, dude, I was just like,
Yeah, dude.
it's one of those things where you don't think it's gonna hit you that hard, and then it just destroys you.
Yeah, 100%, dude. And honestly, like I want to say a lot of these like big moments are just highlighted by the music. The music was amazing. The music has such a big part for me in the storytelling, the cutscenes, and some of these pivotal moments in the story. The music just goes in, like it was just produced masterfully. It's just the way it needed to be, all the way to the very end, right? Well, we'll get to the end scenes and the end battles, and I'll talk more about the music. But as I was saying, bringing it back to some of the AI. So once you get to the north, right after Jin poisoned, like a shitload of the Mongol invaders, they start using the poison on you.
Yeah.
So at one point you get like part of the story, you get shot with an arrow, and the arrow has a poison tip, and the poison is from the poison that it's a native plant to Japan, to the island of Tsushima, and the Mongols are now using it. So the the AI did adapt in a way, as part of the story. But that, like, towards the end, I felt it get better. I was like, okay, they're using, because they had more tactics to use against you, right? At the beginning, stand on a crate, stand on a barrel, they're swinging at you. Later on, oh crap, now they're shooting poison at me in areas they couldn't reach before. So that was super cool. But yeah, I was like, again, it's not like the best at the end even then. Sometimes it's like, okay, like, they're clearly looking at me.
Yeah, they're definitely like a little wonky sometimes. I think my biggest like complaint about the AI wouldn't really be that, just because I feel like the difficulty spike of it like makes sense. Just because it, like, yeah, like they still want you to like feel like strong,
yeah,
but not overpowered, because at that point like you maxed out everything,
yeah.
So I feel like a lot of games, when they do that, you have like all these abilities that are in your arsenal, and everything is just easy.
Yeah, exactly.
I feel like it's still like relatively easy enough. Like as in easy, I mean like the AI are kind of dumb. Like for like a purpose, because like they hit hard, but they're not gonna like scout like every little like nook and cranny trying to find you.
Yeah. So
like I feel like the power levels are like very well matched to where you're at in the story and what they know. Obviously, like in the third act, you see a lot of archers and their poison arrows. So it makes sense because they learned the poison from Jin.
Yeah. And
they've been training under Tomoe.
Yeah, and also a lot of armors and helmets.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can no longer, like, you have to have like the long bow or whatever. Yeah, I think it's a long bow.
Yeah.
To get like those headshots to penetrate the armor, because if you notice, like, they have a lot of like helmets. Before in the first one, it was like, oh, no helmets. They adapted to that, so it's like, okay, cool, I get it. They are adapting to the ways of the ghost. The ghost is killing them out. It's their main threat, so they're adapting to that. Yeah, I guess just like the in combat stuff, but
yeah, no, I get you. Like, no, like it's a completely valid complaint.
For sure.
Like my complaint with the AI is that you're fighting huge crowds, but it doesn't feel like it.
Yeah,
where it's like, oh, I'm fighting like 20 different people. Why aren't they just like ganging up on me? I feel like the parry system is very satisfying, and especially like with the perfect parries and the dodge. Just because, especially the perfect the parry. It's a pretty big window for the parries. So it doesn't feel like I'm trying to like sweat just to like kill this one guy with a perfect parry. But like if you're blocking, like he's at least not gonna just block, like a Sekiro block where you just like you just kind of block. If you're blocking and you get hit, usually like he parries it in a way, like he just kind of like deflects it and moves out of the way.
Yeah.
So like that's a cool system, but I wish they improved it a little bit more. To compensate for those big crowds, like I want those big crowds to jump on me. There are Mongols. They thrive under like big power and like just brute energy. So like, why aren't they just like ganging up on me? Why are they fighting me like one or two at a time?
Yeah.
Or like they just kind of like end up like circling me for a while, like the spare bears. Like
Yeah.
sometimes it gets annoying where like three of them kind of jump at once, and then they all just like poke me.
Yeah.
But I think if they expanded a little bit more on the counter system, it could have been a little bit more fluid with when all like those big crowds would kind of come in. Like the kind of the Batman Arkham Knight games. Where you're being surrounded, but there's like that counter system where if you like parry one, you can parry the second one, and then you like go into this other one, you like break his arm, and like it just feels fluid. Where
right.
Batman is a very clunky game, but when you're fighting, it feels fluid if you're hitting those counters correctly.
Yeah. Okay.
I feel like that could have been like done a little bit better. And then, like I think it's the AI fault, because they programmed the AI just to like kind of just circle you. And
right.
I wish they were closing in the gap rather than just standing there.
Okay.
So that's my complaint about the AI, but it's
right.
not a big thing.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, exactly. Like both of these things are there, but they're not like game breaking where you're like, this is bullshit, or this game is just like bad in combat. No, it's definitely just little things, right, that you notice after a while. You're like like it's still cool, but it could have been like, ooh, like I'm in trouble. Like this is a threat. Like I'm in an enemy camp. I'm in trouble. Yeah. Like for sure. Yeah, and then so you're in Act 3, right? And then, just kind of do your thing, right? You fight with your friends, you finish off all the loose ends on those stories with your friends, right? With the archer, with Tomoe, with Masako, with we didn't bring up Norio, which was the war monk, but it's also a very very compelling story of I guess of like him trying to protect like the temples and like the everything that's sacred and holy to like the monks, but also trying to respect their ways and trying to like have them learn like, hey, we're under war right now. Like the life has to change. You can't win with peace. Like they will kill you. So that was a very good story as well. That culminated in a really good, kind of sad way, because Norio, being a peaceful person, he is a fighter, but he kind of like goes a little crazy, at the end, and then at the end, you just you fight until you corner Khotun Khan in one of the harbors before he takes off to mainland Japan during the storm. So and then you fight Khotun Khan, your enemy, your allies, and some of the samurais that sided with the ghost that left Shimura's ranks, and you end up just fighting the Khan. You go into a duel with him, so you fight him in a one-on-one duel, which is super cool because the dual combat does change. So it just locks you into this third-person view with your enemy in front of you, which I really enjoyed those duels, by the way. Every single duel was just super, super cool. And then you fight him as you fought every other fight in Tsushima, which is surrounded by Mongols, on top of that ship, which was really, really cool because you had to use all your, like, weapons to really get through those. Yeah, because they threw some tough enemies at you with a variety of weapons. So you were constantly switching from the moon stands to the spear stands to the shield stands, like back and forth. And then Khotun Khan is there fighting them too. And then archer, so you're rolling, and then you're just throwing kunai, you're throwing sticky bombs, throwing smoke bombs, you're throwing everything in your arsenal, pretty much running dry. Which I was like, this is dope because everything I've been using, I have to use in the final battle. Quote unquote, until. And then you kill Khotun Khan, and you successfully destroyed the the Mongol leader, right? The Mongols are not gone, they're still there because you killed their leader, but that doesn't mean much. It's not like they're gonna drop their weapons. No, they're still gonna keep fighting. So some days later, you get a message that your uncle is is looking for you, wants to talk to you, right? Your uncle, he's like, hey, well, like we, you know, we had some beef, but hey, let's talk, right? Meet me at where we used to spar practice when we were younger and stuff. So, you know, you ride to close to your Yuma village, I believe, or Yumi or something like that.
Omi village.
Omi village. There you go. Where your home is, and you find him there, right? And then you guys talk. You guys take a stroll, take a ride to the Sakai graveyard, right, where your father and all your ancestors are at. Everyone's buried there behind your family home. And he tells you the Shogun wants your head because you are pretty much a traitor. So, you know, it's my duty to collect your head. You know, so I will do that. And so, final boss, you have to fight your uncle, the person that is your father figure since you were very, very young, the person you fought for to save, that you love the most, the only other samurai like leader samurai in the island. So you have to fight this dude, and I was just like, this is nuts. And then and then throughout the journey, right, throughout the entire game, you have to write the poems. What are they called again?
The haiku.
The haiku. You have to write one last one while you're kneeling like in front of your family grave under some tree, and then you're just writing another one, and it's just like, oh my god, like I've been writing so many throughout the story, and they're beautiful, by the way. Here goes another one, and then the music just starts, you know, and they do the whole ritual where they get up, and they're both like in their like, I guess, Ronin attires, you know, they're not wearing like their samurai armor. And then they just, you know, get ready for a duel, and they pull out their swords, and then the music just goes off, dude. The music is just playing. And, dude, I had tears in my eyes. I had tears in my eyes because it was such a beautiful moment leading up to that battle. Like, the music was just, it reached, like, this note where I was just like, oh, my God, I can't, like, because, you know, like, obviously, you know, like, you watch the sad movie, right, where you're just like, this is very sad, and the music starts, and you're like the waterworks just begin because it just hits you. You're like, oh, this is sad as hell. And you have to fight your uncle, right? And at the end, it gives you, when you defeat him, it gives you an option, right? Spare or kill, right? Spare or kill your uncle. Jesus, what did you do?
I spared him.
You spared him? I spared him too, dude.
So my thought process is that I'm not a samurai. I don't have to follow your code anymore.
Exactly.
Like, because he tells you, like, cool, finish me off. Let's do it.
Yeah, the samurai kill. Yeah, pretty cool. Yeah, like the samurai dude, give me a warrior's death.
Yeah.
Like the samurai way. Like, I lost this duel. Kill me with honor. Let me keep my honor by you killing me right now because I lost the fair fight. Right. Yeah. So he's like, kill me. However,
like I didn't think, like, you know, like in his head, I don't have honor.
Exactly.
Like. So I don't have to follow your rules, man. And the line that, like, what he tells him afterwards was just perfect because, like, that was exactly like my thought process. You know, like, he tells him like I may have no honor, but I'm not gonna kill family.
Yeah. Exactly.
And just fucking just sheets it away, bulks it.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, dude, 100%, dude. Like, because it's like, I've been fighting against this tradition. I've been fighting against your ways the entire game. I'm not going to give you that because I think killing my own family, the person I love, is stupid.
Yeah, like, you know? Not because it's dishonorable. Like, it's not a thing a person should do. Exactly. I'm not going to...
Exactly, because we're exactly... This code is not going to interfere with, like, the love that I have for you. You know, you are my dad. I'm not going to kill you because of a stupid code. You know, like, I'm just going to show you that there are things that are more valuable to me and, like, as a whole, as human life, than this code. So, yeah, I spread the shit out of him. I was like, you know what, dude, you're not getting your warrior's death. You're going to live. And you're going to fucking, you're going to reflect on this moment, you know, and, like, I'll be the traitor. I'll fucking live in the shadows, baby. Dude, it was so cool. It was so fucking cool. God, man, it was such a good ending.
So I didn't call that ending because no one did.
Oh, dude, hell no, dude.
No one expected that, like, the final boss is like Shimura.
Yeah, dude.
But when they started like the Ryuzo timeline, like I just knew it. I was like, I'm gonna get a thing where I'm gonna fight Ryuzo, and it's gonna ask me like, do I want to spare him or do I want to kill him? You know, like it's gonna give me that choice, and I was like, fuck, like it's gonna fuck me up. It's gonna fucking hate it.
Yeah.
Like I'm like, am I the ghost or am I a samurai? Like, do I fight for Tsushima? Do I fight for my friends? Like, you know, like.
Yeah, dude. All this conflict, so much conflict.
But the fact that they did it with Shimura is just even better, man.
Dude, that honestly, man, like that just took like the ending to like a plus 10, just instantly. I was just like, this is like a movie, and this is, oh god, it's so good.
It's the same reason, you know, like you said that the Khotun Khan fight, it's just like it's a really cool, like very action packed fight, and like I loved it. I thought it was really cool, like, but it felt like something was missing. Like, you know, like I killed Khotun Khan, but I was like, man, like I did it.
Yeah.
But, like, that's it.
It didn't end with a bang.
Yeah, and then you get to Shimura. They're like, well, like you get that note from him that he wants to meet up with you, and I was like, he's gonna kill me. He's gonna try to kill me. I was like, oh no.
Yeah, it's because like that's the build up that I was missing. That build up, like okay, you kill Khotun Khan, right? You're like, all right, hell yeah, like I got like boom, like kill the Khan. Right, it's like the Bane mission. Yeah. Boom, crossed off. You're like, hell yeah, like there you go, baby. That's it. Kill the fucking person I was supposed to kill.
Yeah.
In your head, right? You're like, kill the person I was supposed to kill, and you do, you know, if you spare your uncle. But then the lead up, right? That lead up from like, I didn't even fast travel, dude. I got on my horse and I rode all the way there. I was like, I'm gonna like enjoy this entire ride to my uncle's like meeting point, and then like. Where it's like you get there and he's not there, and you like take a seat, and then like he gets there, and then like I was wearing a different armor, and then like I'm instantly changed into like a different like Ronin attire. I'm like, oh hell yeah, like, and then he looks the same way, like he didn't come prepared for battle, like he's not wearing any armor, where he's just wearing like his regular clothes, and then like you ride and you're just talking, conversating, you know, and then you get there, and then like he's like, all right, well like, you know, he even puts you like in the mood, right? Like, I'm gonna break the news to you, like. You're a traitor, you know, by the samurai code. The shogun wants your head. You know, like I'm giving you like a proper kind of like goodbye, right? Like we're making this like we're making this emotional moment because you are not just like a traitor to me. You are my son, you know. And it's just like holy shit, dude. Like, oh my god, dude. It was just ridiculous. And that was the build up that I needed to see. For me to give this game a 9.5, Jesus.
I'm not gonna score it.
You're not? Okay.
I can see why people wouldn't like it. Because so at first, when I started playing the game and I started seeing how the map worked and all the objectives all over it, I was like, this is a video game. Like this is a fucking video game. Like that's what it is. You know, like it's not The Last of Us where it's just very cinematic and it's just like story. No, like it's you getting your hands on, like you getting your hands dirty. You know, like just killing all these Mongols. You know, like riding all over the island, getting all these objectives, like collecting all the shrines, collecting all the charms. Like it's just a video game.
Yeah.
But it grabbed me so hard, and like as cheesy and dumb as it sounds, you know, like it's like a movie, you know, like I love the story that it told me, you know, like I love the tale that it told me, so I feel like a lot of people wouldn't, not saying like it's like a big brain game, you know, like, but it's just a lot of people that would not pick up on like these like motifs that. The story writers put into this game, like pretty much everything that we talked about. You know, like the political and societal like issues, like all the character development that was put into like all these allies and even Jin. I feel like a lot of people that would not pick up on these kind of things would probably not rank it as high. because as a video game, it's good, but it's not different enough to like warrant like such a high score. Like it's just a good, clean game, you know. Like they wanted an open world samurai game, and they nailed it. Did they do anything crazy to it? No. I think on a technical standpoint, like it's a good game. Is it perfect? No. There's a lot of bugs, but I mean, bugs can be fixed.
Yeah.
But yeah, like as like a technical like product, I don't think it did as solid as a lot of people probably expected. You know.
Yeah.
So I feel like those people who look at it as just as like software would not see it as high.
Yeah.
But like me personally, being such a complete package to me, you know, like it's just a solid game, even better story.
Yeah.
And especially with the fact that I was not expecting that good of a story, you know.
Yeah.
I expected just like a good samurai tale.
Dude,
you know?
same, 100%, yeah.
And I was gonna be completely okay with it, you know. Like I was very excited about it, but I had like my expectations kind of like tempered, you know. I just wanted a fun samurai game, and like this is actually like what I was looking for at that time, you know. I wanted a big open world game. I hadn't played one in a while. I just wanted to collect things, you know. Everyone kind of like complained about like the UB towers, but I was like, oh, I kind of want to play Watch Dogs 2 again, you know.
Right.
So like that's what I wanted. And I got it, but I got more than that. And because of that, like right now, this is my game of the year.
Okay.
Final Fantasy came out this year, man.
Yeah.
I didn't play The Last of Us 2, but that came out this year.
Yeah.
And this is still, like, hands down my game of the year. We still have Cyberpunk coming up.
We still have it. Yeah.
And it's definitely, like, if it's anything like I think it's going to be, it's going to be a really hard choice. But I really can't see them creating such a compelling story, as compelling a story as Ghost of Tsushima.
And that's why. Okay, so before I played this game, I was like, okay, Ghost of Tsushima, it's gonna come out. And I was like, okay, like I'll play it. You know, I didn't have any like super excited. I was excited to have something new to play. I was like, ooh, hell yeah, like new game, baby. It's like it's talked about, Sucker Punch. Let's do it, dude. It's probably gonna be good. I was never expecting for it to be this good. Pleasant surprise. Pleasantly surprised. Insanely pleasantly surprised. I was like, this game is insane. I just didn't expect it to be this good. Story. Didn't expect it to be that good. Like, if I'm being honest, I was like, this story, I was just thinking exactly like you said right now. I was thinking, I was like, oh, it's gonna be like a vanilla, good samurai story. I didn't expect they would take it to this level. I was just so surprised. And same, dude, same. Like, it is my current game of the year. There's a lot of games right now out that I love, you know, that I play that are fun. But this game is like it's like a piece of art, dude. It is a video game. So it has like, you know, like you play, like you said, you're clearly playing, you're like, yes, this is a video game, you know. But it takes parts of like the mechanics that we know and that we've seen for years. It does, you know, it didn't like innovate, right? It didn't do anything crazy that was new, because I didn't feel like it needed to in order to deliver like what we got, which was just magnificent. You know, and yeah, I mean, I think I am giving it a 9.5. Because I am not giving it a perfect score, because I don't think it was a perfect game. It was extremely, extremely good, but it was not perfect. And you know, and that's just me trying to be conservative, right?
Yeah.
Because I'm trying to give this a score with some reason, right? With like, okay, like I'm being reasonable. I'm not being like a fanboy. I'm not being like super like, oh, like I'm just throwing out like numbers. No, like.
Yeah.
You know, it's like a genuine number that I feel it deserves. And to be quite honest, dude, I'm shocked that it's so high, because it was just an amazing product. It was an amazing game, an amazing story, and it's not even done, dude. Legends is coming this fall. It's not even done, dude.
It's the same. It's the same thing, you know. Like it's like a co-op, like fun thing to do. Like, are they gonna pack that in with like more like heart wrenching stories? Like I don't know what I don't even know what to expect from it. You know.
Exactly.
It's insane.
Yeah,
they knocked it out of the park with this, man.
They did, dude. And again, like this is my game of the year so far. I haven't played I didn't play Last of Us. I did see again an entire playthrough of it, and I played Last of Us Part 1, which I felt the story was good. This one, I felt the story was good too, but it didn't do to me as much as this one did. This one just it broke me, dude. It broke me in such a pleasing way. It's just a really good story. I wish it should have been a book or something, or like a movie or something. Cause wow, dude, that's what it was to me. It was as good as that. Any sort of art you put in front of me, so it was really good, dude. It was really good. But yeah, I mean, I do have like a last little list here before we wrap up of like the good points here. Some are gonna be we're winning to them, and some, you know, like it's just things that are there, right? So pros, game looks beautiful, the story is compelling and engaging, music sets the mood every time and did not miss. Jin grew on me. Empathy towards Jin, huge, with the struggle with his uncle. A lot of exploration, and it's very rewarding. A lot of exploration is very rewarding. I didn't feel like it was like busy work at all. So I'm just like, I'm done with these missions. I need to know what's happening. No, I was like, okay, like this is fun. Like this is cool. You know, you walk by a tree and there's a hanging body in a war-torn Japan. You're like, holy shit! Like maybe I should stop and help this person out, because that looks horrifying. And yeah, I mean, like those are some of the leftover pros that I have here, and that's it, dude. That's it. That is Ghost of Sucker Punch's Ghost of Tsushima for the PlayStation 4. Any last thoughts, Jesus?
Man, I don't even know. Like I kind of just went over everything that I love about this game. I don't want a sequel.
Me either.
Just move forward.
Standalone piece, dude.
So I want Sucker Punch to like just keep on crushing it, man.
Yeah, phenomenal work, dude. Phenomenal work.
I didn't expect this to be that popular. You know, being known for like Infamous, you know.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, well, you're kind of like coming out of left field with just trying to like release a brand new IP. But let's see where this goes. But, you know, even though it's so popular and it's doing so well, you would expect them to like release a sequel or something along those same lines as Tsushima.
Yeah. I
kind of hope that they have that mentality that, hey, we kind of crushed it with a new IP. Let's do it again.
Yeah. Okay.
You know, because Infamous lent itself to being a trilogy, I believe.
Okay.
But I feel like Tsushima wrapped up so nicely that I'm okay with it. I feel like there will be. The game kind of lends itself to be, hey, like, what is Jin gonna do now? You know, like, yeah, he's gonna repel the Mongols, but like, what next?
Yeah, right.
Like he's like, I said, time for like mainland Japan.
Yeah, right. Yeah, like. There was a lot of talks about the Shogun. A lot of people had left the island to go over there. Well, we see them again, and you're like, oh crap, I remember this character, this and that.
I feel like they will go towards like a sequel, and then it'll be like once like samurai start getting like phased out.
Okay, kind of like Last Samurai kind of stuff.
I mean, yeah, but like it's just that, you know, he's not a samurai anymore. So
yeah, he's not.
You know, like now, like it like I feel like this game was. People think he's something else other than a samurai.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like the second one will be like people still think he's a samurai, but he's trying to like kind of cast that aside already.
Okay.
But I mean, like that's just some weird like writers table like discussion, you know, like
right.
who knows what's going on in their studio that they want to do.
Yeah.
But
yeah. Because, okay, cool. Yeah, because if they were to go like historically, the Mongols were like repelled by a typhoon. What would you call it? Yeah, it's like a hurricane, right? But over there they call it a typhoon, I believe. So they were beaten by that. Years later, there came a second invasion, and same thing happened.
I don't think they'll go historical, because they really didn't, you know. Like,
yeah, right.
They kind of made it a point. It's like, no, this is our story.
Yeah, for sure. But like, I guess the setting, right? Like the setting is real, so they could put like, hey, like the Mongols were defeated, but they weren't defeated at all. Like they just came back a second time, like 7 years later, I believe. So who knows? Maybe it's like 7 years later. What happened to Jin? What happened to Yuma? Where are they now? Or you are Tomoe now. You are the new character. Tomoe is the protagonist now. Just kidding. I don't know. Sucker Punch, what up? Just kidding. But yeah, I guess that's it. That is our discussion and our review / kind of conversation about our thoughts on Ghost of Tsushima. Hope you guys enjoyed. Let us know how you guys felt about it. You guys felt we're full of shit. You guys felt like, we kind of nailed it. You guys felt like you had it in different, ideas. You guys, think like, oh, well, this actually was not good or whatever. Let us know. You can leave us a comment on our YouTube video. You can send us a comment on Twitter, Instagram, DM us. Hit us up, let us know what you think. If you loved the game, if you hated it, or, just any ideas at all. But with that being said, Jesus, thank you for your lovely input. You are the to my host.
Ooh,
the greatest. With that being said, be well. Thank you.
And good night.